What's up, guys? It's your boy Justin here with another book review. I also bought a new game, which is like I already spent like so much money on new games, but it was the thing where like I had to go to Walmart because I had to do grocery shopping and I need a new microphone, so I'm like, oh, I'll kill two birds with one stone, and this was on sale for like $30. So I'm like, yeah, $30, that's not bad. So yeah, if it's a JRPG, by the way. So yeah, I finally read the Dragons of Spring Dawning, which is the third volume in the Dragonlance Chronicles, which is supposed to be the last book in the trilogy. It's not really a trilogy. There is a fourth volume, right? But it's called like the New Generation. So this is written by Margaret Weis and Tracy Hickman, who I think is like a game developer, and like Margaret Weis was more the writer of the two. So yeah, this is the final book in the Dragonlance Chronicles trilogy, which is not really a trilogy. Like I said, there was a fourth book, but yeah. This originally published in 1985, if I'm not mistaken. Right, so yeah, you have Rassilin, Caraman, and the Kitiara, which I have no idea how you're supposed to pronounce her name, who wasn't in the cartoon, by the way. Yeah. Because she doesn't show up until book 2, which she's like one of the main villains of this book, right? Who, it was revealed in the second book that she was a dragon high lord, and that's who she was working for. Oh my god. So yeah, I'm just going to do a quick review because I did not like this book. Okay. The book is kind of dumb, and they killed some of our favorite characters and faked the deaths of some of our favorite characters in this book. Right. Though one person does die, but yeah, they fake the deaths of other people, other characters. So yeah, what happens in this book is that Tanis, even though he didn't betray anybody, feels guilty because for 2 weeks he was stuck with Kitiara, learning as much as he could about her position and what the dragon army is up to. While that was going on, our heroes were stuck at like an inn, thinking he was dead or something or captured. When really he was just banging this chick the entire time. So yeah, while that was going on, Taz, Flint, and Lorana were with the Solamic Knights, and Lorana becomes the leader of the Solamic Knights and becomes the Golden General, as she's called, who leads the human army against the Dragon High Lords, which they even get through a explanation from Gilfanis and Silvara, where they had their own little adventure that doesn't happen in the book. We only get a recap where they bring back the good dragons, which is their gold, silver, bronze, and brass dragons. Which there's a cool battle where you see Flint and Taz's perspective, where they get on top of a bronze dragon and they fight like a aerial battle against the evil dragons. While that's going on, the other group of heroes, which is led by Tanis, get betrayed by Rassilin, even though it wasn't Rassilin's fault. Honestly. They get stuck under the sea, where they're in a sunken ocean that's being run by sunken sunken city, kind of like in Atlantis, which I forget what it was called. I think it was called Ishtar. It was called Ishtar, where they meet a mage and like sea elves who apparently the reason why dolphins are so smart, at least in the Dragonlance universe, is because they're secretly elves that take the form of dolphins. So they're called sea dolphins. Oh my god, it's so dumb. Yeah, so that's where they discover the secret behind the Everman Barum, who has a green jewel stuck in his chest, where you learn his backstory and the Queen of Darkness, who's a god, who's the actual leader of the dragon army, wants him for some reason, right? So yeah, so what happens is basically some dumb shit happens. Some of our characters fall for the really dumb traps, and all of our characters converge at at the at the evil like headquarters castle of the bad guys, right? Where you find out there's a lot of inner like struggles between the dragon high lords, where you get introduced to a dragon high lord called Arrakis, who is a mix between a warrior and a mage, who they hype up very much. They hype him up only for him to die. Really, very anticlimactically, by the way. They also introduced a Death Knight. They introduced Death Knights in this book, which I didn't know Death Knights were a thing in Dragonlance or D&D until I saw like a Synthetic Man stream where he showed off his Dragonlance book and showed off Death Knights. So I'm like, holy shit! I didn't know Death Knights were a thing, which they described when they first introduced the Death Knight, what's called Lord Soth, where they give you his backstory. They say he's basically a ghost inside armor. They changed his description at the end of the book where it's like, oh no, he's a skeleton, right? When at first there was nothing holding up the armor. He was supposed to be like a ghost, right? In physical armor. Which is like, what the fuck? That was dumb. They changed the descriptions of characters. Oh my god. Which I know I in the artwork for Death Knight, they're like skeleton warriors, but I'm saying like how they first describe them, that's not how they describe them, right? But there's a funny scene with Fizban and an old dragon called Pirate, which was pretty cool. But mostly the book, there was some dumb shit in the book. The love triangle, all the romance bullshit in the book that you thought was just there for flavor. Turns out it plays a major part of the book, which is really fucking dumb. Where characters make really dumb, stupid mistakes, and yeah, I don't know. Turns out in the second book, when they show up to Venesti, which is protected by like a night when you show up, it like the place protects itself by sucking you into like a dream world or nightmare world where most of our characters died. It turns out that was actually visions of the future. So it's like, what the fuck? So it's like, yeah, oh my god. So like they spoil how characters die even though they didn't really die. They faked it. Like basically Rasslin, who disappears from half the book, shows up near the end. Spoiler alert, which this is the review for the last book in the trilogy, so of course there's going to be some spoilers, but yeah, Rasslin, who they make you think he's an evil bad guy now because he becomes a black mage, shows up and pretty much saves everybody, but not before fucking with his brother. Which that's another problem with the book, is that there was no confrontation really between Rasslin, Karaman, and Kitiara, or however you're supposed to pronounce her name. There was like one brief moment where they kind of met, where Kitiara was like on top of a dragon trying to sink a ship. Well, actually, he was trying to capture the Everman, Barum. Right. Oh my god. Which they show you artwork of what he's supposed to look like, and he looks nothing like how he's described to look like, right? Oh my god. Because which I want to see if I can find that. Which there's illustrations, by the way. I forgot to mention that. Should be around here. Where is it? Come on. There's the Immortal Librarian. Which we needed a Immortal Librarian. There's Barum, right? That's not how he's described to look like. That's not how they described him earlier. Like in the book, he's supposed to like. In the second book or whatever, how they described him as an old man. Does he look old to you guys? Yeah, I don't know. So there was some good scenes in the book, but some of our characters die very well. The characters that actually died in stupid deaths, and yeah, the climax was kind of weak in my opinion. I liked how they didn't turn like wrestling. They kind of did wrestling dirty, and they it feels like they're setting him up to be the villain in the next trilogy. I guess I don't know. We'll see, but yeah, I don't know. Six at best, this is a 6 out of 10. I did not enjoy reading this book at all, despite how fast which it seems like because I said I wouldn't start this book till Sunday, and today is Sunday, but I started reading this book on Wednesday because I realized if I when I do my my exercise, which is cycling, right, on a cycling machine. That's how I try. That's how I'm trying to lose weight. That and dieting, but not I'm not too good at that. So I find out. Oh yeah, I cycle faster if I don't listen to music and I just read, right? Because playing video games, I don't cycle as fast either. So yeah, I figure when I read, I cycle faster, right? But the problem is, yeah. So like I started reading this on Wednesday, which this book is like 380 pages. But yeah, it's not. It's okay, but I don't know. I think this trilogy of books is overhyped as fuck, but I could be wrong. So yeah, that's it for this review, guys. I forgot to mention in the beginning of the review because nobody's gonna watch this. 2 likes, 25 views, and we'll do a poll for the next book review. The books that are going to be in the poll are going to be a Brandon Sanderson book, the 4th Wheel Time book, and what was it called? Black Sun Rising by C.S. Friedland or something like that. I can't remember. Yeah, so that's it. Peace.